Alex had never expected his night to turn like this. The space station hummed quietly around him, a constant reminder of the isolation that came with living so far from Earth. Lights flickered along the corridor as he adjusted the controls of the communication array, trying to fix a sudden disruption in the signals. The hum of the machines and the faint vibration of the station's engines usually comforted him. But tonight there was a tension in the air, something he couldn't quite place. He wiped his brow, the metal floor cold beneath his boots, and leaned over the console. His fingers moved quickly, reconnecting wires and rerouting power lines. The screens blinked with error messages, each one more urgent than the last. Just as he thought he had it under control, a sudden sharp movement at the edge of his vision made him freeze. The door to the room burst open. Alex instinctively ducked behind the console, his heart hammering in his chest. Standing in the doorway was a figure he had never seen before. A young woman. Or at least she looked like a woman at first glance. Her skin shimmered slightly under the station lights, reflecting colors that didn't exist on Earth. Her eyes were large and golden, moving with a quiet intelligence that made Alex feel like he had just walked into a story he wasn't supposed to read. She stepped forward with ease. Unafraid, unhesitant, her movements fluid, almost like she was part of the air itself. Without a word, she set down what appeared to be a small bag of equipment and tossed aside the simple tunic she had been wearing. Alex's breath caught, but not for the reasons he expected. There was no malice or provocation in her actions. It was natural for her, a reflection of her world, and he could sense the confidence radiating off her in waves. She climbed onto the bed with a grace that made it seem effortless, her bare feet barely making a sound on the metal floor. Alex tried to speak, but no words came out. He watched as she reached toward the console he had been repairing. Her hands hovered for a moment above the controls, and then, as if responding to some silent command, the array began to stabilize. Warnings disappeared from the screens. Lights that had been flickering steadied, and the soft hum of the station became steady once more. "She fixed it?" he whispered, more to himself than to her. She turned her head and looked at him, her eyes curious and probing, yet calm. Then she made a gesture he didn't recognize, a sweeping motion with her hand, and the small holographic display above the console flickered to life. Symbols and diagrams formed, flowing like water across the screen. Alex could not understand the language, but the purpose was clear. She was showing him something, trying to communicate. I don't understand," he said finally, his voice shaky but growing steadier. What are you doing here?" She tilted her head, a faint smile crossing her lips as if amused by his confusion. Then she began speaking, though not in words Alex could hear. The sound was melodic, almost like music, filled with resonance and subtle vibrations that made his chest tingle. Somehow he understood her meaning. She needed his help. Her species had been observing the planet below, and now something was coming, something that required both their efforts. Alex swallowed hard. He wanted to ask more, to question why she had come here, but there was no time. The station shuddered slightly, a warning that the external sensors had detected a disturbance. He realized that she had not just come for curiosity or exploration. She had a mission, a purpose that might involve him more than he could have imagined. He stepped closer cautiously, trying not to make any sudden movements. If you need help, then I'll help, but I need you to tell me what to do." Her eyes glimmered with approval, and she extended her hand, not in a human gesture, but in a way that seemed to invite him into her world. He hesitated, then placed his hand against hers. The sensation was electric, not painful but alive, like touching a stream of flowing light. For a moment, all the fear and confusion vanished, replaced by clarity and purpose. She guided him through the station, showing him systems he had never even touched. Alex followed her instructions, marveling at her intuitive understanding of technology that was, in theory, centuries ahead of human engineering. Wires that had seemed impossible to repair, she adjusted with a touch. Circuits aligned themselves as she moved her hands across them. The room seemed alive with her presence, as if she carried some force that interacted with the station itself. Hours passed in what felt like minutes. The quiet hum of the station became a rhythm they both moved to. Alex began to see patterns in the way she worked, understanding that this was not just a demonstration of skill, but a form of communication. She was showing him her world, a world of logic and elegance, and she trusted him to respond. At one point, Alex paused and looked at her. You're not from here, are you?" She smiled faintly as though confirming his thought without words. Her eyes glowed faintly under the soft light, and he could sense the energy that surrounded her, not dangerous but potent, a subtle force that suggested her species had powers humans could only dream of. A sudden alert on the monitor broke the moment. The station's sensors had detected something approaching the planet below. It was fast, massive, and unlike anything Alex had ever seen. The alien woman's expression shifted slightly, a rare glimpse of concern crossing her face. She reached for a panel and adjusted it with a few swift gestures, recalibrating the sensors to track the object. Alex's heart raced. "What is it?" he asked, his voice tight. She did not answer in words. Instead, she gestured toward the view screen, and an image appeared. A dark mass, enormous and shadowy, moving through space toward the planet. It was alive in a way that terrified Alex. He realized this was the threat she had warned him about. We have to stop it?" he asked, more to clarify than out of hope. She nodded, her golden eyes locking with his. There was no fear, only resolve. Alex felt a strange surge of confidence. Despite the danger, despite the uncertainty, he knew that they could face it together. She was not just an alien visitor. She was a partner, a guide, and now, in a way, a comrade in a fight that extended beyond his understanding. Together, they moved to the command deck. Alex followed her instructions, running diagnostics, reconfiguring the station's systems, and preparing the defenses. Each step revealed a little more about her species, about their understanding of the universe, and about the way humans could rise to meet challenges when guided properly. By the time the planet's alarm systems began to echo through the station, Alex was no longer a man lost in the vastness of space. He was a human ready to confront the unknown, bolstered by the presence of someone extraordinary. The alien woman stood beside him, her posture calm and commanding, her eyes reflecting the stars outside the station. As the shadow approached, the two of them worked in perfect synchronization, human instinct and alien precision merging into something powerful. Alex realized that this encounter was more than chance. It was a moment that might define not just his life, but humanity's role in the galaxy. And for the first time, he did not feel small. He felt capable. He felt important, and he knew that the night ahead would test him in ways he could not yet imagine. But with her by his side, he was ready. The station shuddered again, stronger this time, and Alex gripped the console tightly. He looked at the alien woman. Her expression was calm, almost serene, yet he could feel the tension radiating off her. Something was coming, something massive and unknown, and it would take all their combined skill to survive. And then, with a subtle movement, she gestured toward the sensors, indicating it was time. Alex nodded. Together, they prepared to face whatever the cosmos had sent their way, unaware that this night would change the course of their lives forever. The shadow moved closer, larger than anything Alex had imagined. On the station's view screen, it was a massive, dark shape, almost alive, twisting slowly through space toward the planet below. Alex's heart raced, but the alien woman beside him remained calm, her golden eyes reflecting the faint lights of the approaching threat. He realized that despite her calmness, she was preparing for a battle that could determine the fate of not just the planet, but the lives of millions. Is it alive?" he asked, voice tight with disbelief. She shook her head slightly. "Not in the way humans think. It moves with purpose, it reacts. It tests." Her voice was melodic but steady, the words somehow clear to him though the sounds were foreign. Alex felt an instinctive trust. She had knowledge he could not even begin to comprehend, and now that trust had become their weapon. He returned to the controls. The alien woman guided his hands, showing him adjustments to the station's energy arrays. Alex worked quickly, following instructions that seemed impossible to understand at first, but slowly the systems aligned. The communication arrays glowed faintly with new power, the lights on the consoles stabilizing in a rhythm that seemed to match the station itself. "This is amazing," Alex whispered, awed as the systems responded to their combined effort.
How can you do this?"
She glanced at him, a hint of a smile on her lips. "You help me. Together we can do more than one alone." She reached forward, touching a panel that caused a holographic map of the approaching threat to expand across the room. Its massive form twisted and pulsed almost like it was aware of their presence. Alex felt a chill run down his spine. The object or creature was enormous, larger than the station itself, and it moved with a precision that was terrifying. But now, with the alien woman's guidance, he could see patterns in its movement, weaknesses that could be exploited. She gestured to a small, intricate device on the console. Alex picked it up, unsure at first, but her steady gaze reassured him. The device was an energy manipulator, capable of redirecting the station's power in ways Alex had never imagined. Under her guidance, he calibrated it, following precise instructions. The screens around him lit up, showing a web of energy connecting the station to the shadow below. "You are ready," she said finally. Her hand brushed his shoulder briefly, not in affection but in encouragement. A silent acknowledgement of the courage he had shown. Alex felt a surge of determination. This was bigger than fear. This was human potential meeting alien intelligence, a combination that could change the outcome of what seemed inevitable. The shadow reached the planet's atmosphere, and Alex could see the surface trembling below. He realized that if it hit, the planet's ecosystem could collapse. People, creatures, cities, everything would be at risk. But with the alien woman's guidance, the station had become a conduit for defense. He followed her instructions, directing bursts of energy toward the shadow. At first, nothing seemed to happen. The mass twisted and writhed, unbothered by the human's actions. Alex felt doubt creep in, but she placed a hand lightly on his arm. The touch was reassuring, grounding. She adjusted the controls, subtly shifting the energy flow, and suddenly a ripple of light moved through the shadow. It recoiled slightly, then pulsed again. Alex watched in awe. We're affecting it," he breathed. "It's working." "Yes," she replied. "Humans underestimate what they can do. Your instincts, your adaptability, your courage, these are strengths." Her words struck him deeply. For the first time, he realized that humanity's role in the galaxy was not limited by technology alone. Bravery, quick thinking, and trust in one another could be as powerful as the most advanced weapon. Hours seemed to pass as they coordinated. The shadow fought back, shifting unpredictably, testing the station's defenses. Alex felt exhaustion in his muscles, but he refused to stop. Each time he followed her guidance, each time he adjusted a control or redirected power, he saw the shadow's movements falter. They were winning, slowly, and yet he knew the danger was far from over. Finally, she gestured toward the central console where a small device pulsed with light. "Now," she said, "focus everything here. Align with me." Alex understood immediately. It was the final strike, a calculated effort to redirect the shadow away from the planet. He followed her precise instructions, the alien energy flowing through the device, through the station, through him. The shadow hesitated, then recoiled, twisting violently before it was flung away from the planet in a brilliant arc of controlled force. The station trembled with the release of energy, and Alex staggered, gripping the console for support. The alien woman steadied him, her presence calm and steady. On the screen, the shadow receded into space, no longer a threat. Alex exhaled slowly, his chest heavy but filled with relief. He looked at her, seeing not just an alien visitor, but a teacher, a guide, and now a comrade who had changed the way he saw himself and humanity. We did it," he said, voice shaking slightly. She smiled faintly. "You did more than help, you led. You made decisions in the moment. That is something no device can replace." Her golden eyes met his, and for a brief moment Alex felt a connection beyond language, beyond species, a mutual respect born from shared struggle and trust. The station's alarms quieted, systems stabilizing fully now. Alex leaned back, feeling the weight of exhaustion but also the thrill of achievement. The alien woman stood beside him, gazing at the stars through the viewport. She seemed to sense his thoughts, her hand gesturing toward the cosmos. There was more to the universe than he had ever imagined, and he had now become a part of it. "Will you stay?" Alex asked hesitantly, not knowing what else to say. She turned to him, her expression unreadable for a moment. Then she nodded. "For now," she said. "There are other places that need attention. But your world, it has potential. I will be back to see how humans grow." Alex felt a sense of pride swell within him. Humanity was small in the vastness of space, but that did not mean it was powerless. With courage, intelligence, and trust, humans could rise to challenges even the most advanced species might doubt. The alien woman activated her device, and a soft hum filled the room. She stepped toward the viewport, and in a flash of light she disappeared, leaving Alex alone on the station. But he did not feel lonely. He felt prepared, strengthened, and aware that he had taken the first steps into a larger universe. He returned to the control console, checking the systems once more. Everything was stable. The planet below was safe for now, thanks to the teamwork between a human and a young, beautiful alien woman. He smiled faintly, knowing that this was only the beginning. The galaxy was vast, full of dangers and wonders, and humanity had a role to play. Alex sat back in his chair, tired but exhilarated, looking out at the stars. He understood something now. Fear could be powerful, but courage, knowledge, and cooperation could shape the future. And he had learned that humans, though often underestimated, could rise to challenges that no one imagined possible. The station hummed softly around him, a constant reminder that even in isolation, even on the edge of the unknown, humans could make a difference. And somewhere out there, the alien woman would return, bringing with her new challenges, new lessons, and the reminder that humanity had the capacity to grow, to adapt, and to shine brightly among the stars. Alex leaned back, exhaling slowly, his mind alive with possibilities. The universe was vast, dangerous, and beautiful, and now he was ready for it.